Good morning. Good morning from a very, very windy Wagaman. We are at Kolahalamede. The wind here is absolutely blustery like mad. And it's a bit chilly as well. But it's a beautiful morning, like every day is, I think, here at Wagaman. So Wagaman is one of the most beautiful parts of Kerala, which is, again, probably one of the most beautiful parts of India as well. And we are at an altitude of about 3,500 feet. and sorry, it's very windy, and I'm trying to find my voice here. Anyway, so the wind hopefully will die down a little bit. But we are at an altitude about 3,500 feet. It's very crisp. It's a beautiful, crisp morning. Bit blustery because of the wind, but otherwise it's fabulous. What you're looking at is the Western Ghats, the famous Western Ghats, which is a UNESCO heritage, World Heritage, part of the UNESCO World Heritage sites. And what you're seeing in front of you is the plains which stretched out all the way down to the Arabian Sea. What you started looking at there behind us is the other parts of the Western Ghats like Panchali Meda, and somewhere inside that is Sabarimala. So what you're looking at is probably the most beautiful parts of this wonderful natural topography, and we are very privileged to be here at Wagaman. So Wagaman is in Idiki, maybe a couple of hours from Thekadi, about 3 hours or so from Kumaragam. Lovely drive up the hills, and and it's been like this for a long time, because before the 1920s, when the British came here and started planting tea, Wagaman was largely unknown, right? So most people never knew about this place. There were some local small communities who used to live here, and well, they had this place to themselves, which is kind of, I feel jealous a little bit. But before the 1920s, Wagaman was largely unexplored, largely unknown. And when the British planted tea here, that's when this place started growing, started attracting more people. The tea industry grew, and so now you know something today morning, that it's not just Munnar which is famous for tea, it's Wagaman as well. We'll have a look at the tea estates later on, but right now let's just take in this beautiful view. Let's walk down a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like. We'll try not to get too close to the edge. It's full of amazing cliffs and mountains and crags and ridges, and what you're looking at below is the coastal plains. Now these extend, so we are facing roughly about south, and further down to the west is where it goes down straight into the that side is where it goes down into the Arabian Sea. We are about due west of Alapura, coming down from Cochin, and normally we would have a lot of mist here. Now if you look up in the further distance, you can see the fog. Generally what happens is fog settles down in the valleys overnight, and that's when if you get up early enough in the morning, you can actually see the fog sitting down in the valleys like a beautiful silk blanket. And sometimes you have these little mountain tops which peek out from the fog. So yeah, it kind of means that you have to get up early in the morning, but so often the view is just absolutely worth it. Wagaman has some great opportunities for trekking. You can see many of these places. The government has allowed trekking in several of these locations. Fabulous trails here, which allows you to get really up close with nature. And today we are here because we are doing a video about caravan tourism, which is the next big thing in Kerala, the next new hot thing. So yesterday the Kerala government inaugurated, the Honorable Minister for Tourism inaugurated Kerala as in India's first international level caravan park. It's not far from here. We'll visit that later. And it was a very momentous occasion because all of us hope, in the industry hope, that it's going to mark a new beginning of tourism in India, in Kerala. But having said that, let me just give you a couple of minutes to look at this view. Right, the view is just stunning. We'll get the camera to pan around, and you can have a really nice look. And I'll keep quiet while you just soak in that. Isn't that just stunning? By the way, the valley below is about 2,000 feet down. So a long, long way down. So we won't go too close to the edge. You can also see those trapezoidal markers. I don't know if you can see them on the shoot, or if you have noticed them. Those trapezoidal markers mark the edge of the forest boundary. So beyond that is forest, and clearly you really don't want to go that close to the edge. It's very, very windy here. So we'll go retreat back uphill a little bit. Not too comfortable standing so close to the edge of this 2,000 feet ridge. Maybe not so safe. So like I said, so we're here for caravan tourism. We are going to meet a young couple who wanted to have a caravan tour experience, and they're just coming over. And while they're coming up, let me tell you a little bit about caravan tourism itself. Now, I hope you guys can hear me clearly, because this wind is something that you really have to experience. It's if you can't hear it, come here, because you should try this. Just standing here is really, really good fun. The wind is like it even threatens to take you away. That's how amazing it is. But it's lovely and cool and crisp. So caravan tourism, so that's Kerala's new initiative. The last time something like this happened, a new product was launched in Kerala, was probably about over 20-25 years back, when the houseboats were introduced. So Kerala has long been a pioneer in innovative tourism products. Houseboats of Kerala, not too far from here, maybe about 3 hours away, to Kumaragam. They're world famous, the beautiful backwaters of the lake there. And excuse me. And after houseboats, we also had Ayurveda, which became a global hot seller. Thousands of people, lakhs of people come here, hundreds of thousands of people come here to experience Kerala's famous Ayurveda treatments. And today we have caravan tourism. So caravan tourism offers a lot of advantages. For a start, it's a lot less polluting than normal travel would be, because often the most important, the biggest component of your carbon footprint is actually the accommodations you stay in. You may not think about it, but all the concrete that's there, all the air conditioning that is used there, yes, they have a role, but in terms of pure carbon footprint, they do have a slightly larger footprint. So if you look at the overall trip in total, actually a caravan trip is probably resulting in a little less of a carbon footprint than you would in a normal holiday. So that's the first good thing. So you have already doing something good for the environment, which I think is fairly important in today's very, very quickly changing world. In addition, it allows you to obviously explore lots of places, right? So you really don't have to worry about things like clean toilets and whether you have to get back to your room, what time check-in is. Literally, you could walk out of the airport right into the caravan, and your holiday starts right there. So there's no problems like you have to get a pickup from the airport, then drive 2-3 hours to wherever you're supposed to go. So you get into the caravan and your holiday starts, and that means that you get extra time to have more fun. It allows you to visit places which are far more remote, right? So as an example, we are in Idukki. Now, Idukki is the largest district in Kerala. It's mostly nestled in the midst of the Western Ghats, and its vast size means that there are so many places here which are absolute gems. And many of these places are places that don't have a lot of accommodation options nearby, or maybe even very good eateries nearby. Now, having something like a caravan at your disposal the whole day means that you can go and visit all of these places without getting worried about, whether they're going to be clean toilets, whether they're going to have something decent to eat, or anything like that. So anyway, so we'll talk more about caravan tourism and the policy and the rest of it. Our guys are coming over in the caravan, and let's get ready to receive them. So that's the big, beautiful, snazzy caravan from Bharat Benz, making its very stately progress onto the Kola Mede at Wagaman. And we have a friends, a couple who want to have a little bit of a caravan tourism experience. So we just asked him to, park the caravan so it's facing away from the wind, because this wind, like I said, is really, really blustery here. and it's also kind of seems to have caused a little bit of a problem with my throat. So my apologies if I sound a bit off sometimes. So come on, guys, come on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi. Morning.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Welcome to Agaman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, you want to tell us about yourself? Your
Yeah.
name?
Sure. I'm Alex.
Sita.
Okay.
So,
So, what do you do? What do you guys do?
An artist and a bank.
You're an artist at the bank.
And a bank.
So you're an artist and a banker. That's an interesting combination. Well, I've heard that before. Alex, what do you do?
I am an IT professional. Yeah, I work in Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So have you been working from home?
Yeah, I've been working from home.
Okay. So why caravans? What brings you here?
Okay, that's a interesting aspect. So, because we tend to travel in mostly every 3 months or maybe 4 months. So, I mean, this time we thought, okay, why not a caravan? Why? Because we tend to spend a lot of money on hotels and maybe travel around and spend a lot of fuel and everything, and then there's a lot of process involved. So this is more like I am traveling in a hotel. It's very comfortable. It's where we are there.
Tell what-
Yeah, sure. We are in a space where it's very comfortable. We have a limousine style seats, cushions, and everything, and it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we are all very eager to look inside the caravan as well. We'll get in there sometime. You guys have been enjoying it for a while, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how's it been?
It's been wonderful. So we have a beautiful coach. So it's amazing. I mean, to travel there, it's very comfortable. Best thing is we don't have to drive.
Yeah. Basically,
Oh,
we
it's
don't have to
Shafford. It's
drive.
Shafford driven.
It's Trafford
Yeah,
driven.
yeah.
We have a driver called Manu. He is very helpful. So he has been helping us with taking us around through the places and everything. So it's been wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So what else? We'll talk about the caravan later.
Yeah, sure. We can spend some.
So did you read about Kerala Tourism's new policy? How did you get on
Yeah,
with it?
so it has been. I think I saw a couple of articles and news items and new. I mean, we have some Kerala Caravan news articles which has been published, and then I was following all this Kerala tourism page, and then I was seeing all these articles there, and it's been wonderful. And this is a new venture, right? So it's I know that this is gonna fly high because I mean this is some experience which we can never get. Maybe probably in our state this is gonna be amazing. I mean, I feel this is good.
So does it make you feel like more of an artist and a superstar? Because
I
in
already am feeling like that right now.
so in Kerala, I think it's in Kerala and mostly in India, I think, right? So caravans were generally seen to be, those
Yeah.
superstars go in them, or really rich businessmen or industrialists go in them. And I think this initiative by Kerala Tourism is more to make something like this more accessible to normal people,
Yes.
democratize the whole thing, right? So you can pay some money, get a caravan, and travel, see the world. Well,
Yeah.
see Kerala at least.
Yeah.
We'll see the world later.
So the idea here is it's not just a caravan, right? It's we can say it's as a recreational vehicle. So it kind of adds up to it because point is we have everything here. We can drive right up to the spot where we want to see because we are the beautiful Wagaman. And
Let's go see
Yeah,
what
please.
beautiful
I want to see this view. And I don't want to miss this.
Come. You should really enjoy this view.
Yeah.
It's stunningly beautiful. So do you know what you're looking at?
Oh God, please. I think I came here a couple of years back, but not in a caravan for sure. But so I couldn't. I don't know what this. Please.
Right. So we are obviously in the middle of the Western Ghats.
Okay.
Oh.
So Western Ghats is a World UNESCO Heritage Site.
Wow.
It's one of the natural wonders almost of the world. It's over 3,000 kilometers. It's over 3,000 kilometers long from the north to the south. Extends all along the western coast of India. And this is the parts which come into Kerala. So Idukki district, which is where we are in Kerala, the biggest district in the state, is entirely nestled in the middle of the Western Ghats.
Okay.
So what you're looking at is Kolahalamede. This is called Kolahalamede.
Okay.
Kola made.
Kolahalamede.
Okay, yeah, okay.
It's called Kolahalamede. Don't ask me why it's called that. Right? So these plains that you see down here, they're about 2,000 feet below us.
Wow.
Oh,
So let's not get too close to the edge,
Ah,
especially
yeah.
with this wind here.
yeah.
And they extend all the way down to the Arabian Sea, right? So I'll give you a couple of minutes to just soak that in. Have a
Yes.
look.
Yeah.
Have a look. Have a look. Why don't we ask Manu if he can help us put down that awning on
Yeah,
your
sure.
vehicle. I saw something on the side there. Is that an awning?
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Yeah,
try
we can try that.
unrolling that here?
Or maybe
Let's-
have a coffee too.
Yeah, we can try and have a coffee as well. Why not? We'll ask him.
Yeah.
So we are at about 3,500 feet above sea level.
Oh yeah. This is the highest point in Kerala. I mean, at
Uh,
least accessible point where we can take our cars out or maybe take our caravans out. Is it,
Oh,
is it?
Manu's already on the job, man.
Oh yeah. So he's not just our designated driver, he is also our friend because he has been taking us around.
Oh, cool. Wow. That is super cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Manu.
So the best part is we can take out these tables.
That?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has a table and chairs. So we can sit it up here.
Let's have a go. Amazing. Oops.
These are the chairs.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need 3. Fourth one might fly off. I think we need 3 of these, Alex.
Three are enough.
I think we'll have to hold on to the 4th one with us when. Fantastic. Our own little picnic.
Yeah, seriously.
You wouldn't have some coffee, would you?
Of course.
We can make some coffee.
Okay, awesome.
But we are at Kannandevan Hills or whatever it is, but maybe probably we should have some tea maybe. I
Yeah,
mean,
we should
Yeah,
have
yeah,
some tea,
yeah.
isn't it?
that's this
Oh wow,
popular dialogue.
this is absolutely cool. So let's sit. We can sit down and have a chat properly. Manua, this is really cool, man. So you could set this up anywhere you wanted. Get out of the sun and just have a nice.
Yeah.
കാറ്റ് കാരണം നമ്മൾ ആക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളത് ആക്ച്വലി ഇതിനേക്കാൾ വരും കനോപ്പി ഇതിനൊക്കെ കൂടുതൽ വരാൻ ഇതുണ്ട് പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ കാറ്റ് കാരണം ഇത് ഒടിഞ്ഞു പോകും
Okay.
അത് കാരണം നമ്മൾ ഇത്ര വെച്ചു കേട്ടോ
So what you're saying is like, see, since we have this heavy winds here, so we can't extend this further because it may be a little problematic because it can catch the wind.
Maybe
So
a bit problematic. So it is further extended. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the wind is quite strong. It should die down a little bit, but
Yeah,
but I think but this is really cool.
This is
It's just very cool to just come to the top, a hilltop, pull out your little awning,
Bring
put
your
out your
food
picnic
and,
table, get your
coffee
food.
and-
I love your hair. What it's doing to your hair?
This is the best open air restaurant I've ever sat at.
Yes.
Right? Amazing. Where else can you get this?
And there's no one here. There's no one here.
Yeah. That's
Nobody here. So is that one of the reasons you guys chose the caravan?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
because
we get
privacy.
A lot of privacy actually, and then we are always in a rush now with office, work, and all. So this is like perfect. It's just us, and we can see the places. You know, we can travel luxuriously. We don't have to stay in a hotel. We are already in a hotel.
Yeah, I guess I think one of the things I read was, with a caravan, well, as a motorhome. By the way, this is, I believe, more technically called a motorhome,
Yeah.
because technically a caravan is something I believe which you tow behind your own car or something. Whereas this is a self-driven vehicle. Anyway, I think one of the big advantages is you can literally walk out of the airport or the train station,
Yeah.
and your holiday starts right there.
Yeah, right there. We're saving a lot of time actually.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about toilets. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about especially
I
for
mean,
women.
That's something.
Yes,
That's
yes,
something which
yes,
is like
very
really
true.
concerning because whenever we're traveling, we are here on the cab, so we have to find places. If you're traveling to a hill station like this, we have to find fuel stations to stop over. Maybe
Yeah.
have a break or something. But this is comfortable. right from the airport, right to the destination, we are covered. So yeah,
It's
that's
very clean and it's very comfortable, and that's something I think every women are looking for.
I
And
think
it's
every
very-
man also looks for pretty much the same things.
yeah. Let's not do biasing them.
Let's
because
not
everyone-
be
we all-
sexist
we all-
here.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
We're all
Fair
looking for the
enough.
same thing.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough.
Given that, anyway, let's not go there, but into too much detail. But no, I can understand. It must be far more comfortable and
Yeah.
I guess also more reassuring, right? So you don't have to worry that am I going to
Yeah.
get stuck with no toilets or no proper food
Yeah, we
or
don't have to plan all those things. We are like at peace with that. Oh, it's there.
yeah.
So the right at the moment, look, we can just make our coffees. We can sit comfortably. I mean, pretty comfortably. We can see the insides too. I mean, like
We will. We are all keen to do that. We are all very keen to do that in a little while.
Yes.
Main thing is we don't have to plan anything because all the weekdays we are planning something or the other in our head, and here no, we just can
I think that's a very important point,
Yeah.
right? So the amount of preparation you have to do to make sure things are all sorted out, your room is sorted out, your food is sorted out, where are we going? I mean, this can be a lot more, I guess, impulsive, right? So you
Yeah.
say, let's go somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, get a caravan, jump into it, and go.
everything on the go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and figure it out, right? And you, when you show us the caravan, show us what the various features inside are. Remember, what you're saying, I'm really keen to look at how this is going to look at. Amanu,
Tea or coffee? Yeah, please.
Yeah,
tea and
please.
dough.
Tea.
Yeah, of course. Tea.
Strong tea.
And Manu to the rescue again.
Yes.
I can see why you guys like him so much. Awesome. So we were just telling you about Wagaman itself. So Wagaman is, like I said, it's one of the, let's say it was lesser known parts of Kerala, and this was in the 1920s. The British planted tea here.
Okay.
Before that, I think most people didn't even know Wagaman existed. And honestly speaking, in slightly older times, even getting here was quite a challenge, right? Because it's high up,
Yes.
and But today you have fantastic growth. It's about 2 hours from Tekadi. You guys could go there after this, or you could choose to go to Kumaragam on the other coast. And I think that way Kerala gives you this terrific mix of different, experiences, isn't it? You have mountains, 2 hours. You have the coast, 2 hours. You have jungle with safaris. And I mean, where else do you get this kind of
Yeah,
mix?
the landscape really supports that because like, that's something I really like about Kerala or the Wagaman, these places here, because this spot is especially known for adventure tourism,
Mhm.
and we are at the right place because
Adventure
this
park.
is something, and we are at the adventure park.
Yes, this is DTP's adventure park.
Okay.
Do you know how big this place is?
Oh please,
It's
tell.
any guesses?
probably I mean the whole park,
No, yeah, the whole adventure park itself.
but it should be maybe 500 acres.
No, it's not that big. It's about 100 acres.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
It's about 100 acres. It looks like 500
Oh,
acres,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
It's just spread out, right? It's like all of this is park.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's about 100 acres, and the DTPC has been developing this. They spend a lot of money in developing their facilities here. It was officially kind of inaugurated in 2019.
Okay.
Have you had a chance to look at what's there? We can do that later. But like you said, Sita, it is an adventure park primarily. So they've got an adventure zone where you have high rope challenges, you have a ATV and things like that, and some more relaxed pursuits like paintball and stuff like that. There's a lake down at the bottom where you can do some boating and kayaking. There's other plans here to build zip lines and things like that. Of course you can walk around, and the most important, most crucial, or probably the most famous thing in Wagaman, which is why this slope is so famous,
Of course.
is the
Glide.
paragliding.
Paragliding,
Right.
yeah.
Just
I saw those
imagine-
posters though.
Yeah, just imagine, soaring over this. Or
It's really windy, so yeah.
are you
You
scared of
just-
heights? Are you scared of heights?
I am a bit, but yeah, I can do this too.
No, I can do with the company, so it's
Yeah, it's tandem, right? So they won't let you go alone. It's not because of you. I think they want their paraglider back.
oh,
No, but it's very safe. I think the guys doing it here are properly trained. They are part of the Paragliding Association of India. They follow all the norms and the rules and things like that.
I know that they are here for a long time because I visited Wagaman maybe 3 years back, and at that time it was still there. So I think
Yeah.
this has been developed further from that
So
point.
it's a very safe outfit. I think it's something everybody should try at least once in a lifetime. And Wagaman, by the way, is one of the top places in India for paragliding.
can
mean,
see that because it's so beautiful. I mean, the view is amazing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something. I'm here. I'm
do you
here,
want
I
to sit
know.
this way? Why? Don't look at me. Look at the view.
Oh,
Thank
God.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ah, biscuit ഉണ്ട്. Wow. Thank you, Manu.
Thanks, Manu.
Manu, did you have tea?
No.
Cool. So yeah, like I said, I really see why you like him so much. Biscuits, tea, sorted, man. So what else? I mean, you know, what else about caravan tourism? What are the aspects that you like? Got
Okay.
some great points there. Like, you know, one of it was the thing about not having to plan.
Yeah,
You talked
mainly
about
that is
privacy.
the thing.
You talked about, you know, being able to.
Because basically, even for daily people who are going to office, it's like they are always planning stuff. They need that weekend to be unplanned. You know, it should be like, okay, I have to just relax. I don't want to plan the trip again. So this is like on the go. I can, I don't have to think anything. I just can experience and feel everything, just like a kid. You know?
Okay.
There is one other aspect which I really liked about it. First thing is like we have this designated driver who takes us around, and even we are at designated parks here, and we can have this
Yeah.
parking area where we can park our caravans, and we have the good views and everything. And even we don't take care of how our driver, because drivers have their own quarters in caravan parks,
Yeah.
and they are well
Taken care of,
taken
yeah.
care of
Yeah.
there. So that's one good thing I like about this. So I think I appreciate the government for that idea and everything, for setting this up too. I mean, so we have this experience. That's something I really appreciate. Yeah.
See, I think the idea Kerala also has is that it's not to put caravans into main tourist sites, right? So if you went to Munnar, you don't really need a caravan. There's enough resorts and accommodations available. And
Yeah.
the idea is not to replace or be an alternative for those resorts, because that's a different experience, right? The idea is you come to Munnar and then you take a caravan from there maybe,
Yeah.
right? And then go around exploring Idiki, right? And then you use the caravan because in so many places around Idiki or in many other parts of Kerala, the most beautiful parts really don't have accommodation. They're a little remote,
Yeah.
right? You may have to drive back a long way to get back to your resort. So, you know, you might miss the best times to see that place. Things like that, right? Let's say you are at a beautiful spot, you want to see the sunset or you
Yeah.
want to see sunrise. And if you want to see sunrise, you'll have to wake up at some unearthly
Yeah,
hour
exactly.
and drive an hour and a half to get there. Whereas here, you know, you have caravan parks which are relatively close by. You can be
Yeah.
here in a few minutes.
Yeah, that was the best thing.
And
In the
do
morning.
this, and do this,
Yeah, yeah.
do
We
this.
don't have to
And
actually
you need
get
Manu
up
as
early
well.
Also.
Yes.
We are already traveling. So by the time we reach here, we just have to, wake up and just step out.
Step out, yeah. So
True.
we were already here parked in Wagaman's, this caravan park. So, and the morning was so beautiful. I mean, I can't just literally tell my words. So, I mean, it's so beautiful. The hues, I mean, amazing. And I was there. I was here. I was right here in this chair.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole idea, right? So where you are able to spend some time in the mountains, that gives you one experience, and then you drive a little bit, you go see the jungle areas, you go drive a little bit, go to the beach area, you know, and it gives you a mix of different things. Maybe you drop off your caravan, get into a houseboat, and that gives you a different experience, right? So it's a mix of all these experiences, and I think that's what perhaps make Kerala also so unique.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I don't have to use my phone, my tab, my laptop. My eyes are like done. Now I can actually look at the places.
Look at it once more. By the way, behind these hills somewhere is Sabrimala.
Oh,
That's the direction Sabrimala is. What you see there is the other parts of Kerala, of Idiki and this area, which is Panchali Meda and all this. This Kolahala Meda, there's Panchali Meda. It's also a very well-known trekking point.
Okay.
Beautiful views from there. Maybe you can go there after this. Again, stunning views.
Shall we step up?
Yeah, please. We can always drink tea. We can drive down that road later
Yes.
as we get out of here. It looks very beautiful.
So what I like here is, so all the way I don't see any other houses or any other spots. I mean, it's not commercialized. It's very pristine. So that's something which I would really enjoy. I mean, when I'm having a caravan like you're parked here, so the view is gonna be you know.
It feels very exclusive. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
It's very exclusive.
That's something which you don't get in a hotel though. It's because
Yeah.
you are packed in between 10 or 20 resorts, and then you're there and you get up and you see another
Yeah.
porch or whatever. But still, the view is gonna be beautiful. I know it's Kerala, it's Wagaman, but still not this. This is something. It's you need to have the privilege to have to view. all
And
this.
I think the point is that the whole point is that everybody can have that privilege.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You don't need to be a superstar to own a
Yes,
caravan.
Everybody is a superstar.
Yeah.
So
I think she didn't like my not saying that you. I admitted you are a superstar. Okay.
She is a superstar.
She is. Right. So and I think yeah. So this is just stunning. And I think we are all very delighted. I think to be here. Right. Actually, in the mornings, the fog is the mist is risen now.
Okay.
But in the mornings you can see the fog down at the bottom. And as it warms up, it slowly rises up. Early in the morning, you could see the fog a little further at the back, but at the moment it is a little. It's getting warmer. The fog burns off.
yeah, I'll just keep the cup on.
Yeah. We can walk around. I mean, it's
Yeah, we can.
stunning.
I think. Let's see the caravan then.
Cool. Let's put this back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's keep this back. Katana. Let's put it back.
Yeah.
Done? Picnic done.
Yeah, picnic.
That's cool. This is really
This
cool.
is really cool actually. And I actually didn't know this thing and that made it better. So I was actually excited. See.
Super.
Yeah.
Chalo, let's get in.
Yeah.
After you. Let's explore a little bit more of the adventure park. So hi guys. So that was a bit of a windy experience out there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. But coming in here is a completely different experience. I can see why you guys like this so much. So how's it been, the experience of this caravan experience? Do you want to go for it?
Yeah. See, as I told before, it's very private. You can see it for yourself, right? And the best part is you're feeling like you're so pampered. As you said earlier, it's not something that only celebrities get to experience.
Yeah, you know what? I almost feel like I'm intruding into your personal space when I'm here with you.
Oh yeah, no.
But it's amazing. It's fantastic. Please go on. I'm very curious to hear what.
Yeah, so see, you can see a TV there, right? So this is like we can see what is outside. There's a camera. At the same time, there's a remote there. You can switch it to a
Inside that,
yeah.
Let me get it.
Yeah. So
So
you
this builds the whole experience because we can see what's happening around us. So we get to see so if you're parked in some place and we get to see
Yeah,
what's happening around us. So that's fantastic because even we can see the driver's cabin too. And Manu will be taking us around and then we can see where we
Yeah, so
where we're
that's the
going.
view from the
Yeah,
front,
that's
isn't
it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a view from the front. And that's a back view and there's additional cameras too there. When we're
Which they
parked,
haven't
we, yeah,
started
exactly.
to work
yeah,
yet.
exactly, yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah, you can convert to a TV also.
So we've been reading a couple of books though, so we have our books and everything ready.
So you
Yeah.
guys look really comfortable. really, really comfortable.
So what will we do when we are in a caravan park or when you park there? So this is the best experience because we can read some books, we can spend some time because we love reading. So we love maybe not in this view though, but when you're parked, then that's something we can do. Have a cup of coffee
See, the
and then.
point is we can choose what to do. Like, if we want to read, we can read. If we want to watch something, we can watch. If we want to walk outside, we can walk. So it's the best part.
And I think that is the most, perhaps, most precious thing in our lives today, right? It's me time.
Yes, exactly.
Right? The me time is what is so important. And I think what I'm hearing from you every time is that this place, this experience gives you that personal me time so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think because like you were saying earlier, all
Yeah.
week we are like running, working,
Exactly.
planning, thinking.
Trust me, if you get this kind of me time, then you're so charged for the next week. This is like you
Maybe
come
maybe
out
a couple
with.
of months too. You don't know.
Yeah, true.
What else? There's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, there is a
Just
sound
explain
bar.
this, no, Peter. Okay.
Yeah, there's a sound bar,
Right.
and then there is a cabinet for the books.
Okay.
Then there are places where you can keep either the bottle or else mobiles.
Okay.
And
There's a charging point there.
yeah,
I can
charging
see.
point
Very
too.
cool.
See, there is some storage space as well.
Oh right, these
Yeah,
open.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Very nice.
I like to carry a lot of things. Like, even if it's for a day, I carry a lot. So
Okay.
there's space for that.
Oh, I can see the. Oh,
Have
this
you
can
noticed
also
this? So we actually we can keep this down. So I mean
Yeah.
we are making use of the space though because normally when in a vehicle this space is open, right, the steps. We can keep it closed so that we can access it and we can use the space.
Oh, and it's
Yeah.
all electronic,
It's all-
electrically.
Yeah.
And I guess it makes it safer for kids also,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
If you have kids, they won't
Exactly.
fall
Because
in.
kids will be running around and then this is like they can't
And
fall down.
also, this is like if your next location is very far, you don't need to keep this thing open, right? You can
Yeah.
keep it. You can use that space.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
And I guess it allows you to keep your feet comfortably.
So I am
sitting here.
comfortable and that too my
Can you
chair
get more
is
comfortable?
amazing.
the best part is the
More
chair.
comfortable. It gets more comfortable.
Okay.
This is
Do you
the
want to show
best
us?
part. Yeah.
Show us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you want to hold this?
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, so I'll move on to the
This is gonna
Okay.
be my pose where I'm gonna sit like this. And
Yeah.
I want the chair to be, a little more.
Yeah.
Sita, please.
So there is
Do all
so there are these buttons. This is like a best part of the experience, and he is somebody who likes to be very pampered. Trust me.
He looks very pampered at the moment. Super comfortable.
See, there is a button for the footrest.
Okay.
Yeah. See.
Please.
Right.
Okay,
so that
this is
puts him back,
recliner.
Right.
Okay, see, and then there is the footrest.
Cool.
Yeah.
So basically, you have almost a fully flat. This is business class.
This is
basically.
my limo.
Like this is business class essentially, right?
Yeah.
And see, there is a blinder too. So
So I keep this open for
Yeah.
fresh air because anyway we are in Walground, we don't need AC, so we are saving a lot of power there.
see,
So yes, and we can keep this recliner.
Yeah, this is the privacy stuff you're talking about.
Exactly.
Also,
Yeah,
right?
see,
So you like once it's down, you're
he
like
doesn't like to be tanned. He doesn't, he expects too much pampering actually.
I think I can show you the kitchen side.
you don't have to prove anything, but you're welcome.
Oh God.
Oh, lots of nugget spaces.
Yeah,
there,
we
right?
have, we
You
have.
got your stuff up there.
Ma'am, please have your seat.
Your turn to get pampered. I think,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, we have a lot of luggage space here. So we travel with a lot of bags, right? So yeah, we have our bags here. We
There's
have a
more
bag.
nugget space in the
Yeah, there is more luggage space in the bottom, so
Right.
we can have it.
right.
So, but we have the smaller bags. We can keep it here,
Mm-hmm.
and we can see the kitchen area. This is my favorite area because I don't want to cook anything when I'm traveling. But still, if you want to make a coffee, then yes.
Yeah, you've got a. I can see some stuff here.
Yes, so we have a fridge here. So this is a 90 liters. It is actually good enough for a lot of bottles. We can keep a lot of stuff here. So
That's
yeah.
a fair amount of reasonably.
Exactly. And then to reheat it, because normally when you're traveling, we get to buy some food, maybe we keep it someplace because we are in a space where there are no hotels. So maybe we have to keep some food in handy and then we can heat it up here.
Okay.
So that's very comfortable, which I find it very good.
There's
And
an exhaust.
yeah, that's best part too. So we extractors there. So it takes out all the smokes of water we're cooking, the smell out. So yeah, this is, and the induction cookers and everything. And obviously.
Lots of
Storage spaces.
They've given a lot of storage
Yes,
space inside
yes,
this, right?
they
So you
have.
don't-
So
you don't-
we have all the
Oh,
spaces
nice
here.
dividers as well. Inside.
Exactly.
Very cool.
And we have our cups and everything here. So we have some cups and we are using it.
Brilliant.
Yes.
It's thought out.
It's thought
Basically,
out.
Somebody's put a little bit of thought in.
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
That's good. That's good. A nice little sink. So
Yeah.
it's convenient.
And the lighting is also very comfortable though. Yeah. And I know we are gonna get a little cramped up here because we are getting
And
into
this
this
is
space.
the
This
washrooms?
is a washroom, yes. And please.
Right.
So, and this is very comfortable. Yeah, I can just show you around. So, see, it has enough space for two people, one person to just stand and then take a shower.
Okay.
I know this is cramped, but still this is on a camp.
This is reasonable size. It's
Exactly.
not horrible.
Yeah, and there is much better space than an airplane for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we need much space. No, but it's what I'm saying is it doesn't feel horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If two of us wanna just come here and take a brush, and then we can just do everything together because there is enough space. The shower is good, and this is all modern amenities.
It's
here.
called hot water.
It was hot water. Yes, it has.
Excellent. Brilliant.
Yes,
In a place like Wagaman, you need hot
you
water.
need hot water. Yes, and all the switches are electronic. You can
Right.
see the switches are electronic. We can
All
just
touch sensitive
touch
stuff.
control. So yeah.
Cool.
Yes, let's close this door. I think this is the next part, the private space we have.
Oh, there's an SOS button here. So
yeah,
that I guess
this is
tells
to
the driver.
yeah. This goes to the driver because if you click it, then he gets an alert there. And another thing is, we have these stoppers, so which keeps the door from.
Oh, they're magnetic.
They're magnetic
Oh,
stoppers.
so the door won't slap.
Exactly.
Oh, very, very smart.
Yeah,
Small things.
very
we
small
paid
things which is
attention
very
to.
thoughtful. Yeah.
We paid attention to.
Yes.
This is your private.
This is our private space. I think let's do it like this. Yeah. And we have
Wow.
2 beds.
Wow.
So which is very comfortable. I mean, if you're traveling with kids, yes, then 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people can stay. 3 kids and 2 adults. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, this is and it's lovely because you have these beautiful windows.
Yes.
You can kind of lay
Look
back
at the
and
view. I mean, look where we are and look at the view.
and
It's
you've got a
amazing, right?
TV if you want to watch something.
Yes, and even the kids gets the TV though.
Oh, there's a TV underneath also.
Yeah, here.
Oh, this is great, man.
Yes.
Really good. Oh, nicely padded.
Exactly.
So it's comfortable.
So we can just sit
Nice
back
view.
and have
there's
some
AC
time.
feed.
Yeah.
No, this is really nicely done.
It's like a
Really
family
nicely done.
space.
And you're not worried the kids will fall out because
Exactly.
they've got a small
Correct.
guardrail so you don't topple.
Correct.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
And next is we have this emergency exit.
Oh.
And yeah, obviously we have some couple of storage space in the back though.
And yeah, in case there's a problem, you can
And
kind
there's
of
a problem if there is something else. We
right.
Can just use
So you're not stuck with one door.
exactly.
Nice. Nice.
So this feels more like a room though. Like it's very comfortable.
No, it's very comfortable, and I think they've paid a lot of attention to small
Yes.
details like
And
that.
even the design part, they put all these elements here.
It's
feel
little,
like-
it's tasteful,
yeah,
so it doesn't
it's
feel
very
like a
It's
something.
our living space, right?
You were looking very, very pleased with yourself. It's very, very nice. So I think this has been really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has been
and I
taking her
think-
notes and everything. She has been writing her.
So tell me, when are you getting done with this thing? So can we book it again?
No, we wanna
No.
keep this journey going. We wanna go to
Yeah,
next
yeah.
spot
We wanna
probably.
keep on
Okay.
exploring actually.
So where next? Have you gone and seen the tea estates around here?
No.
God, we have to see that.
Yeah.
So we should
Because
go there
we
next,
came
right?
to the spot where the park here, so we saw the morning. We were here for. I mean, it's almost noon now. So
Yeah.
yeah, we have to go to the next
We'll
spot.
go there next.
Yeah, we can go there next.
He
Yeah,
has
sure.
said it right.
Yeah.
See, this is what we can randomly plan anything now.
That's true. That's true. Exactly, right? Yeah, absolutely. Then you don't have to worry, like, is what's a scene there, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Like that. Awesome. Brilliant. So next stop,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tea
Let's go to
estates?
the
Tea estate.
Yeah?
I think that's been awesome.
Brilliant. Let's go.
Let's go.
Ciao. So guys, lovely morning
Yeah.
today. Our next stop today is to the tea estates, right? Like I was telling you, Wagaman was mostly unexplored, unknown until about 1920 when the British first planted tea here, right? And the climate here is very good for growing tea,
Oh.
and so it's not just Munnar which has beautiful tea estates, and I think when we get there, you'll see the beautiful tea estates that are there in Wagaman as well. So Wagaman now has cliffs, it has amazing meadows, and it has tea, right? Other things Wagaman has is Wagaman is quite famous for moths and butterflies
Oh.
and orchids. Again, it's very diverse flora and fauna here. And actually, March is the time that the butterflies come out. So if you spend some time here, you'll see. I don't know if when we were at Adventure Park, you must have seen these huge butterflies which were flying around. I don't know if you noticed them. So just look around. You will see lots of big, beautiful butterflies going around. And there are some endemic species of moths also which are found here.
Oh, okay.
And orchids. The orchids here belong to one of the largest families of orchids. So they're also quite special in Wagaman. So where we're heading to is a huge estate owned by one of the large corporations. It's
Okay.
about 2,500 acres in all.
That's huge.
That's huge. It's a massive tea estate. We don't have to explore all of it. We'll just
Okay.
go see a little bit of it. Just so it's just beautiful and it's great Instagram photographs. Right?
Yeah.
Just make sure we get permissions before we get into the tea estate. So I called them and they've said yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they've said yes, we can go there, not a problem. But when you're going there, just to walk off.
I've never seen actually tea estates in this park. I thought it's only in Munnar. So this is going to be new information for me. So do they have tea factories too?
Yeah, they have tea factories too.
Okay.
There's one, it's a little further away. The thing with Idiki is that even though something looks like it is 10 kilometers away, it'll take you time to get there because the roads are winding like this.
Okay.
Right? This road actually goes, if you continue on this road, you can go down to Kuttikanam.
Ah, okay.
Right? And from Kuttikanam, you have a choice of either going down into the plains, you'll go to Pala and Kottayam, or if you headed the other way, you would go to Vandiperiyar, Kumili, and then pass on into Tamil Nadu.
So
Tekadi and all.
if I come to Wagaman, it's like I get triangular sweeping. I can go to Munnar too, I can go to Kuttikanam and all the hill stations which is like very nearby.
And Kumaragam is not far either.
Ah, okay, okay.
Kumaragam is only about 3 hours away.
Ah.
So that's another place you guys can look to go.
Ah, okay.
I think we need you around as well, so we can plan the next locations.
Yeah, that's something we'll have. We need a guide like you.
Yeah.
I'm all available for a fee though.
Yeah, we can think about that.
Yeah. So anyway, so this road carries from there. So actually what we're seeing there is, you see those hills at the edge. That's where we were, right at the back.
Okay.
That's where we were, right at the back, right? And we saw the drop going off there.
Okay.
So the tea estate we are going to actually borders the same drop. You know, the ridge that we saw, which was going to a left as we were facing the view. This estate actually borders that same thing. So if you go into Google Maps or Google Earth, you can see how the topography is. So have you been to a tea estate before? Have you seen a tea factory?
Winding roads.
Hiding roads. So one good thing, that's why they say put it in the luggage compartment. But I guess it's more convenient to have it here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And maybe one thing should maybe that you shouldn't have luggage with wheels on a caravan.
I think you should put it like this.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea. See?
No, I
Did you do
actually.
engineering?
Yes.
No, yeah. I did chemical engineering.
Okay.
So it's not my first time in a
Fair
tea
enough.
factory.
Oh, you have been to- Okay. So you want to tell us about tea?
What should I tell about tea? It's very good to taste. What else should I say?
But you should be giving him all this technical chemical
Come on.
compositions of tea.
Oh, God, I did it many years back. You shouldn't ask all these questions. I didn't know that you were doing
You see our
Viva.
chemistry, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's working out. We actually studied
Anyway,
chemical
so I'll tell you what I know about tea and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
Yeah, okay, that is fair.
It's easier, no?
Yeah.
So the first thing I learned when I went to a tea factory is we hear this process which says tea will be fermented.
Fermented, yeah.
It's not fermented. Tea only gets oxidized.
No,
so
but
that's
you hear the term fermentation, no, that.
where?
In tea factory, when you go there's a process called fermentation as well.
There is a process called
Yeah.
fermentation, but the thing is it's not fermentation.
Okay.
The process is just oxidation. It doesn't ferment.
Okay.
Ferment means that there is other bacteria which is formed which causes
Okay.
carbon dioxide to form and ferments. That's
Okay.
ferment. When we
Okay.
keep, for example, batter or bread, it ferments. So there is
Okay.
no such process that happens.
Okay.
All that's happening is the tea gets oxidized.
Oxidized.
Right? That's why the tea gets the blackish, brownish color.
Okay.
Right? Now there's another. Do you know how tea was invented or discovered?
No idea.
I know. I think it's in China though.
Okay.
I have a very
Go on.
understanding. It's in China because they used to drink it. But I don't know the
You heard
exact
the
history
story?
behind it. But I'll be happy to hear that from you.
Okay. So the story that often goes around is that an emperor was sitting in the tea field And,
Okay.
no, he was resting after a battle or something,
Okay.
and he was very tired, and he was drinking some hot water. But Chinese didn't have tea before then, right?
Yeah.
So he had some hot water, and the leaves from a
Fell.
plant into the tea.
Okay.
There's hot
I
water,
think I've heard
and
it.
then you heard this? It's all rubbish. Okay.
But I have heard something like
Yeah, lots of people say this. It's another myth. Okay, because if you pluck the tree leaves from a tea plant and put it into hot water, you
Yeah,
won't
it
get tea.
won't.
You won't get tea. The whole point, the way it becomes tea is after it oxidizes.
Okay.
So this story about emperors, tea leaves and falling into hot water is all just rubbish.
But there is one more story. So I visited a friend in Kuno site. I mean the Ooty because I study there. So I visited a friend and he had this dry tea leaves there. I mean dried as in he just plucked it from this plant and then he kept it on a container. And in the morning the maid just served us hot water and she just put all this dry tea leaves. Then I just made me wonder like okay, it can be true too because I can even pluck these leaves, keep it dried though, not the fresh ones. You can keep it dry and just drop it here. Yeah.
This is exactly what they do in a tea factory.
Ah,
So all they're doing in a tea factory is the moisture content in a tea, in fresh tea leaves is over 90%. Right? So when they put it into the drying beds, they first reduce the moisture content to 71%. That's the first thing that happens. Then they either kind of use those CTC machines. They
Yeah.
either use those CTC machines or they use grinders to make it into CTCT or orthodox leaf or whatever you're making, that particular factory is making. And then they put it into the what so-called fermentation machines.
Okay.
So that all that does is it actually dries off the tea and oxidizes it.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah.
right?
I think I can still see this tea here. See, can you see this? I think we
Yeah,
are
we're
reaching-
starting to get into the tea. We should be there soon.
Yeah.
So that's how tea is made. And most of these other things, green tea, black tea,
Masala tea?
masala tea is different, but it's just the amount of oxidation levels that are slightly different.
Okay.
There's no real difference between all these various teas, in a sense, except the price very often. So yes, so I think we should be there very soon. You can see the beautiful tea garden starting up. Like I said, this is about 2,500 acres. Maybe another day we can explore more of it. But today let's start with a small introduction to the tea aspects of it, and then we'll take a small walk once the vehicle gets there, and after that we'll see what to do next.
Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
What are the plans? What else do you want to look at? What do you want to see?
No, you should tell.
No,
you are
I-
the guide now.
I need a fee first. I accept GPay, I accept cash.
Oh my.
So
No,
what
it's more of what do you want to look at? What are you interested in?
So what I'm planning today is see now we get to the tea factory. Then later in the evening I may go to this paragliding because I see everything is ready there. So probably we'll explore some of that. Explore Wagaman. That's the whole agenda for the day. Then probably by the evening or maybe we can head out to Kutikanam as you just told me. I think that's an amazing plan.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, and maybe get some sleep also. Since we have such comfortable seats, these are really comfortable by the way. Okay, really good.
Yeah, I am the first one going to sleep. But
Are we putting you to sleep by any chance?
We are so packed. We are actually, I mean, even though we are inside, so we don't have this habit. Normally we get to, what we do, we normally get to a hotel and go and try, I mean, sleep there for 3 or 4 hours. But we are here right now. So we can make use of time because since you're traveling to Kutikanam, it may take 3 hours for us.
yeah.
Kutikanam.
Yeah.
Kutikanam will take you like 30 minutes or less. Less than that.
Oh, okay.
The thing is that I think what you again made a very interesting point, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
normally, if you had gone out in the morning from a resort, and let's say you got the will to get up and actually go somewhere,
Yeah.
you would go there, then you'd come back to the resort for breakfast, then you'll say, oh,
Then
I've got up
sleep,
early,
yeah.
feel lazy, sleep, and then you don't feel like getting out of the resort again,
Yeah.
right? I think here it's different because you're
Every-
so much more productive. You're so much more productive, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, you saw
So
that.
we just have to tell Manu of the destinations. He'll take there. Meanwhile, we'll be sleeping, eating. Everything is done.
And suddenly when you get up, you're there.
Yeah.
Like this is what teleportation is all about. you need a Manu and you need a caravan.
Yeah.
Right.
And you for interesting stories.
Yeah.
Of course.
So otherwise, I think we should almost be there at the tea estate. I'll leave you to get some shut eye. Maybe I'll catch a nap as well. and we'll see you shortly.
Yeah.
So the guys, we're here. Wake up
Yeah.
at the tea estate. And there's Manu. Thank you, Manu. Thank you very much. So like I said, this is a 2,500 something acre estate. It's owned by one of the large industrial houses. It's a huge business group. And voila, that's the estate.
Okay.
And-
so, how is it done here? It is plucking or
See, so most places today, they tend to use cutters.
okay.
It's not viable to hand pluck anymore. The productivity is just far too less.
Yeah.
So they have a factory, say about 3 kilometers from here,
Okay.
through the estate, and then that's where they process it. Have
Yeah.
you been to a tea estate?
Yeah.
Not in Wagaman though. I've been to tea estate in Munnar, but it's a new idea for me. I never knew that Wagaman has a tea estate and they have tea plantations and everything. That's a new information for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I have been before.
Okay. Do you know how
Munnar.
tea is processed?
Yeah, I know it. I
Go
did.
for it. How
She is a chemical engineer. She is a
Are you?
chemical engineer. She should explain that.
are you?
Yeah, yeah. But
So-
it's
so let
been
me
a
get this
while.
right. From the morning, you said you were an artist, you're a banker, and a chemical engineer.
Yeah, I did BTech. No, everybody does BTech.
Did you discover this combination yourself, or it happened by chance?
By chance.
Wow. I don't think I've seen that combination.
How do you think our chemistry is working? Because she is.
That is certainly working. I've been seeing you guys for a while. So tell us about tea then. You are the expert.
No, it's been a while, but I know that it starts from some plucking,
Okay. Yeah.
and then in the factory it starts with the rolling process and withering process. That is basically it has moisture content, right? So that is reduced to some 50% or something. in the
60
initial-
something, I believe.
Yeah.
60 to 70%.
And after that there is this shredding process, and I think the color comes only after a process called fermentation.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
really fermentation, it's more of it's oxidization.
Okay.
Fermenting is a more chemical process. This is, I mean, oxidization also is,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, it's a slightly different process. You are the chemical engineer. So all I have heard and understood is that, it's oxidization, not fermentation.
Yeah, but
which
if
I was
it
told
is,
by
it is very, very important, because if it is under fermented or over fermented, that copper brown color wasn't. I mean, it won't come.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And after that?
After that, I think it is again dried
Okay.
for the, because that still has that content,
Mhm.
and it's again dried, and then I think that's it. Then you,
So yeah, after that they basically they sieve it.
yeah,
So they sieve it because that's how you get the various grades of tea.
I think even with this, even we don't have to do all this process though. Even we can have very dried leaves and then you can put it on a maybe in water and have it, because that's a light tea, right? I mean, I have seen this because an experience with a friend though. Because when I visited his place, I mean, he gave me a cup of hot water and then there was a couple of dried tea leaves on the table, and we were asked to put on the water, and then like I had a very sweet, maybe a lemonish taste. I don't know. It was nice though. It was nice. So I think we can even have it like this too.
Maybe we can pluck some.
Yeah,
and
we can
take it
pluck
along
some,
with
yeah.
you, right. Yeah, I mean, see, I guess the reason is probably the end process is really the same, right?
yeah.
So anyway, so so this is where the the estates are. Like I said, this is a nicely manicured estate,
Yeah.
and we can't go into it for obvious reasons. We have they've barricaded it, but I mean, many other places you can walk through them, through the estates. This road keeps winding through. This is 2,500 acres, like I said. Do you know why we have these trees
No.
in the tea estate? You must have seen this in the tea
Yeah,
estates,
I've
right?
seen, yeah.
Very often.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
So, tea also needs a specific blend amount of sunshine and shade.
Oh.
So,
okay.
too much sunshine.
I had a slight doubt. Is it for shade or what it is? Anyway.
Yeah, it is for shade, yeah. and this is something called silver oak.
Okay.
Okay.
So silver oak grows very fast. So what they can do is, if it's too sunny, they can chop off a few branches,
Okay.
right, and the branches will grow back.
Oh.
And they can also use this for firewood. So if you remember the first stage where you said withering, they often use giant blowers. So they have fires lit and they push hot air through the leaves after spreading it out on a bed.
Okay.
So they use this to fire that, and they also use it often to do the other process where you said firing
Yeah.
after the oxidization process.
Yeah.
So they use the wood here. So if you go to any tea estate, you will see huge bundles of firewood.
Okay.
Huge, because that's the
Yeah.
most cost-effective way for them to produce.
Yeah, to do that
To get
process
heat.
also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this view is amazing. I think this is
Yeah.
where I'll take a picture always. I mean, I'll
Go for it. Where's your Instagram stuff? Take your photographs.
We are Insta pros.
You want me to take one for you guys?
No, I'll take one for her because I always want. I mean, I'm her
Fair enough.
official-
Fair enough. I'll stay back. Stay back. Do your stuff. Do your stuff. I'll take one of two of you. Come. Okay. Cool. Lovely. Lovely photograph.
I think we should take a selfie with him as well.
Maybe
Cool.
later.
We'll go somewhere else and take a selfie. No problem.
We're planning to go to that caravan park, right? So we can go there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, we can go there after this. We can go there after this. Not a problem. And what you're seeing there is, do you know what those plants are? Those big leafy plants.
Those would be, I mean, as in close? No, other not close.
That's cardamom.
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 Yeah,
Okay.
Cardamom. So tea is a commodity, right? So
Yeah.
the price of tea keeps fluctuating.
Yeah.
So right now it's not too bad, but there are times where the tea prices crash.
Huh.
So most tea estates tend to double crop, triple crop. So these don't, but many other tea estates you'll find they have pepper growing on these silver oaks.
Huh.
So that's very good additional income. This becomes additional income.
Yeah.
So might as well get everything good going at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to keep walking a little bit more into
No,
this?
I think we can head back. We
Cool.
can try the park though. We can go there because
No worries.
it's beautiful.
I wish we had been able to get into the tea estate itself. It would have been awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. But then it will almost remind me of my BTech project on days.
You don't sound too happy. You don't sound too happy about your BTech and
No, I am happy, but then it feels like industrial visitor.
Oh dear God! I think it's been a while since I had an industrial visit.
So are guests allowed here? I mean, can travelers, visitors can get into this plantations? I mean, is it allowed?
This particular one, I mean, they can come on foot for a short. They can come on foot for a short while
Okay.
from the main road. You can see a board there.
Okay.
The company which makes this is Aban. You can see a board from Aban there. So this is owned by them. So they put a board there saying no heavy vehicles allowed. So I don't think they'll have too much of a problem if people just walk in. But it's always best to check with the estate management before you do something, because ultimately this is a private road,
Yeah.
right? So it's you are on somebody else's property.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you keep driving down, there are other tea estates where it's not so much of a problem. It's right on the roadside. You will get similar fabulous views without having to encroach into the property itself. But yeah, but always one thing we say is make sure you get the right permissions. It's
Yeah.
very embarrassing and it's very annoying when halfway down somebody stops you and
Exactly.
you get into a
spoils the experience.
it just
Yeah.
spoils the whole mood, right?
Yeah.
And and you can't blame them, right?
Yeah.
Somebody you saw somebody on your property, you would
Of
go and ask them
course.
what they're doing as well. Right? So yeah, so always make sure you get your stuff sorted out before you go into somebody else's property. So shall we head back?
Yeah.
And
What?
oh yeah, that's
This
so so this is the company which owns this estate,
typhoid.
Tyford. Yeah,
Okay.
it's called the Tyford Estate.
Okay.
They were established in 1860.
Oh,
The company.
it's pretty.
And very old.
Yeah.
And they have a nice tea shop as well, going further down.
Okay. I think then I think I'm gonna move for tea now.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
they have, it's a little further down. You can also buy their home produced, estate produced teas, pepper, cardamom, and things like that.
Yeah.
They have an Instagram page as well if you want to follow.
I might want to have the tea first.
Sure, we can have a look at that. Not a problem. Head back.
Yep.
Cool. Enough tea. Please. Chalo. So you got music, relax and chill, right? Where else can you do this? Walk out of your caravan, walk out of your room into a tea estate, see the tea estate and walk back and into your room. Wow. Cool. So we'll catch you. I'll see you later at the adventure at the caravan park, right? And have a nice chilled out journey in your luxury caravan. Bye guys. Catch you later. Bye. Thanks, Alex. Thank you so much. So, guys, we caught up with Alex and Sita, You might remember them. And we did this fantastic tea garden shoot with them, and we went up to the beautiful Wagaman meadows in the morning. It was beautiful, and I think everybody enjoyed today morning.
Yes.
It was awesome. The experience was so beautiful out there, and I think the tea estate was very pretty as well, wasn't it? So I think it's all about giving people like Sita, Alex, people like you, an opportunity to explore the lesser known parts of Kerala, isn't it? And let maybe we should hear about this from you guys. Like, how has the experience been? What do you want to say? Yeah.
So what I want to say is this is, the first caravan park that's in Wagaman, and the place has been beautifully maintained and it has been beautifully curated, and we have this dedicated spaces for the caravan to park. We have the spaces to eat out. We have the spaces. Spaces for everyone to enjoy. Maybe have some. There was a barbecue area as well. There are some seating areas there. We can see a couple of them, and that too is like very very. It's made pretty amazing though. That's something I really enjoy because the space is it's private and we don't see any other houses there. We can see the beautiful plantations there on the other side and the hills are on the other side, and so that's why something I really appreciate the government for picking such a particular area which is on the exotic spot, and this takes the experience to a different level, right? So for travelers like us.
So this is not by the government. So I think that's one of the big differences in the way things have been addressed, right? So the job of government is not, the business of government is not to do business.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So they should just facilitate.
Yeah.
So that's what the Kerala government has actually done this time. So they've just made sure that these kind of things can happen. But all of the investments, including the caravans, the caravan parks, etc., are by private investors.
Okay.
So this is done by Adrak Hotels and Citron Hospitality.
Oh.
So they are developed this. I think this is a great example of the kind of way Kerala Tourism has worked.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a very public-private partnership. So Kerala Tourism, because it's such a brand new initiative, they are helping the hotels, and the investors recover some of their money because it's a new initiative. It needs marketing, needs awareness, and so that's where Kerala Tourism comes in. Because for a private investor to get the kind of reach Kerala Tourism can get is almost impossible. Right?
That's how our appreciation goes to the tourism department as well, because for making this possible, that's something which is, this is a new initiative, right? So we wish them all success, because that's something I can wish them, because I enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
So I guess every other viewer will also experience the same, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and what I feel is, I had even checked their website, and there are wonderful videos out there, and this is their first caravan park, I think, in India, and 300 more caravans are yet to come. So I think I am already so excited and had a great experience here, and I don't know, I am speechless. So what about you? How was it for you?
I dozed off for a little time while you guys were making tea. But it's very comfortable. It's very
that's
pleasant,
what.
and I think it's all about making things like this accessible to everybody. Right? It's not just the place where superstars can have
Yeah,
caravans. It's not
You
there.
keep looking at me for that each time.
I can't help it if you're looking like a superstar, no, can I?
Yeah.
But no.
I'm
so
giving
it's-
you your mic back.
Yeah, I'll forget it and go. I'm very, very absent-minded. So no, but I think it's great that people like you are coming forward to experience these things, and I hope that there'll be more of you. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a new beginning for Kerala Tourism.
So I hope every other viewer also enjoys the same, because we enjoyed it. So probably yes. Anyone can do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. This is Pradeep along with Stark and from Kerala Tourism, and Alex and Sita.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys,
Bye-bye.
and have a wonderful holiday.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.